Hello, welcome to the Falcon, a football podcast. I'm your host, Clarky.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Jess.
And that was the world's worst podcast intro.
Oh, Chris, you sound so sick.
We're all very varying degrees of sick, where Chris is on the far end of the spectrum, where it's just like practical death, and then Jess and I are somewhere in the middle.
Somebody killed me.
Well, St. Kilda tried, and they couldn't do it, Chris. So you have to survive another week. And we'll talk about that week on the other side of the music.
Hey boys,
Another week of football. We did it. The smooth intro from Falcon Crew.
Sorry I missed 2 weeks, guys. Thanks for holding down the fort without me.
That's right. Just make sure you submit annual leave to our HR representative.
Is that Jess?
Yeah, it is actually. There's a few different news stories flying around this week, and I think it's probably the easiest thing to start by bashing the AFL because they proposed 4 options for a 19-club fixture format, and all 4 of them objectively terrible. So, listeners who may not have seen this, the AFL got together to talk about the future of the game with key stakeholders and I believe club representatives as well, and presented them with all their great ideas for the future. One of them includes a play-in tournament, a mid-season tournament, getting rid of gather round, not getting rid of gather round. And obviously in 2028, there'll be 19 teams in. Tasmania will be officially a part of the AFL. And they've proposed 4 possibilities to the clubs to decide on. So the 4 options: number 1, a 22-game season with 4 double-ups. So that, assuming when they say double-up, you mean you play a team twice.
It'd be like Fremantle would always play West Coast twice, that kind of thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 2 showdowns, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that possibly includes gather round. Option number 2 is a 24-game season with 6 double-ups that includes gather round and another neutral round. I don't know what they mean by a neutral round, but sure. Number 3 is a 20-game season with gather round, rivalry round, and then a pre-finals group stage. I didn't look into what a group stage was, but I hated the sound of it.
Is that similar to what they're doing this year, maybe? Like a what? No, I guess they would call that wild card.
So my brief understanding is that they would split the ladder into sections and create groups that would play each other to then decide finals formats. So it completely invalidates the need for a ladder.
I think with this one, there was the bottom 3 teams, I think it was, would create their own group and they would essentially play for the top draft picks or something like that. I can't remember, but the bottom 3 would be exempt from the groups but would create their own.
Terrible.
I remember.
Terrible idea. And number 4, 20-game season with gather round, rivalry round, a play-in tournament, and a mid-season tournament featuring State League All-Stars.
Do you know what they don't mention in any of these? The things that we actually care about, which is buys and the fixturing of like games at the same time and random times on Friday nights and blockbusters and things. Does anyone care about any of these?
Well, I understand the need to address, like, obviously a new number of teams joining the AFL. Like 19 is an odd number. It's not quite as straightforward to fixture, I guess. But why is the option to fix that or to do anything to the thing like, oh, we should just add like a tournament in the middle of the year. We should just add a whole tournament. Let's completely change how finals works. Like,
so that's something they do in the NBA and the EPL, isn't all that?
Is it?
Yeah.
EPL or just all of soccer?
It's yeah. In the EPL they've got like the FA Cup and then like the community kind of shield stuff. They've completely just stolen this from the NBA though. Like, I don't know what if there was a mid-season tournament. The concern from clubs is going to be, well, now our players are having this condensed extra period where they're going to have to play a bunch of extra games. There's going to be more injuries that are going to affect the whole season. What's going to be the incentive for this tournament? Like, and then that just starts to raise questions around: does that just kind of dilute does that compromise the game? Because if the incentives is financial, the players aren't going to give a shit. They don't care how much money the
in the
club
NBA,
has. If it's
a
draft
big
picks, then that kind of
financial incentive, isn't it? Because the rookies get, I don't know the figures. Rookies get what, 75,000 or something stupid, and then they win that, they get 200,000 or something. It's something ridiculous like that in the NBA, but I doubt the AFL could afford that.
Hear me out. They have a tournament.
It's called.
They have it before the season.
We call it the preseason.
Yeah, we call it the Wizard Cup.
Yeah, I was going to say call it the Wizard Home Run Cup. Bring it back.
I think we're all missing the very obvious solution here, which is to make it a round number of 20 teams, and the extra team that we include is like jury duty, and all of us get a turn at playing against a team. And we just, it's just, that's like our true wild card.
Community All-Stars.
How good do you think you could go against TDK? Because I'll give it a crack.
Has he got the punctured lung and 3 broken ribs? Because I reckon I'd go okay against him.
I would be an injured footballer, says Jess and Chris. I don't hate the mandatory communal team. I actually also thought maybe Jess was going to go down the angle of the 20th team is people who nominated for the draft but didn't get selected. And it goes obviously based on where you were seeded. So if you didn't get drafted, you get drafted to the Misfits team, which we can send to, I guess...
Gives them a chance to show off their talent.
To the Northern Territory or whatever, and everybody gets a 1-year contract. As anyone... No, this is the wrong crowd for this reference. There might be one listener out there who understands. I'm imagining almost like a reverse Blue Lock situation, which is an anime that is about soccer football, and essentially it's Japan gets all the best players from around the country to create the ultimate team to compete internationally. This is the reverse of that, where they get everything that everybody else doesn't want and put them on a team together to try and get them to beat the big boys.
There's a movie in that, and they'll win, but they'll win at the end of it.
Yeah, it's called The Replacements, starring Keanu Reeves.
I was thinking of something like Little Giants.
Isn't that basically The Longest Yard, but just in prison?
The Longest Yard is The Longest Yard, but in prison.
No, I mean like the that's what I meant. Is The Longest Yard is the prison one.
Yeah.
Out of all of those 4, which one do I actually look? I don't hate the idea of a play-in tournament. It'd be kind of cool. I mean, you just get a run of.
Point, Cass?
I don't know. I mean, it's you get a run of. Look at Carlton in the last 5 weeks, right? They've won the last 5 games. They could have just won the play-in tournament if it was over these 3 weeks.
Yeah, but Cass, if you're using if you're using this year as an example, Carlton have won the last 4 games. Freo happened to end up in a play-in tournament against Carlton and get knocked out because they lose 1 game to Carlton, despite winning 12 in a row for the last 12.
Whatever, it doesn't count. It doesn't count anyway. Who cares? What does it count for? What's the incentive?
Jess,
good on Carlton.
I just think just stop fucking touching the game. Just leave it alone. Like, just add extra games on, reduce the fucking buys, make the schedule better, and that's it. That's all you need to fucking do. It's not hard. This is what annoys me is they're like, oh, there's an odd number of teams going to be in, so we have to change everything. What did they do when fucking Gold Coast came in? They didn't change everything. They just had an odd number of teams. What happened when Freo joined the competition, when Port joined? Nothing. They just they changed the fixture. That was it.
Isn't the answer to just literally do nothing but maybe add an extra bye or remove one of the double-ups for each of the teams that currently exist?
No, Clarky, we want less buys.
No, I want one
buys.
bye. Yeah, I want one big bye.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good talking point. We'll transition away from this because I hate all of these options, Cass, to answer your question.
I do like the idea of having a rivalry round, set.
I think option number 1 is my preferred option, including a gather round. Only because I think 24, given the amount of injuries that it feels like we've seen a lot more injuries and changes in the way the game's been played this year. I think 2 less games is probably beneficial to player health. And then also including gather round kind of gives the pageantry, and 22 games would also allow us to have a 1 big bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Sold.
All right.
Done. I win.
Sold.
I won.
You won. Congratulations. Here's $200,000.
And I completely forget my transition to what I want. Oh, yeah, I've got bye fatigue. I'm so bored with football right now
there's
because there's
another
less
one.
games.
I thought it was over, but there's more teams on the buys this week.
That's what I thought.
But then that's it, right?
My team is
Yeah,
one
this
of them.
is the last week of bye. So this week is the last week, including Melbourne, the Bulldogs, Geelong, and St Kilda.
Melbourne and the Bulldogs are on a bye. What are we going to talk about next week?
We're going to talk about flag
Yeah.
mantle.
Shh, stop
Just
saying that.
Freo.
I'm going to say it every chance I get.
It's
Mm-mm.
going to be
Jess said she'll get it tattooed.
This is an obscure reference. But next week's episode is going to be like when the NWO took over the WCW pay-per-views in the late 90s and they had NWO sold out. It's just going to be Fremantle
I agree.
Yeah,
Let's get
the
Damo
whole
back
episode.
on.
Yeah, flag
I must say, it was...
Yeah,
Just Cass and
next week is
Damo.
just Cass and Damo.
I must say, it was interesting when Damo was on. I was listening and I was like, I wonder how he's going to talk about Fremantle. And the fact that it was exactly how I talk about them, which is just like, oh no, we're not getting too ahead of ourselves because we're all trauma bonded. We're all in this together.
Trauma bonded.
Yeah.
By what? If
Trauma
I winning?
bonded by
Oh,
winning.
man.
Not this year, obviously, just
This is it.
past 25 years.
DJ Khaled is suffering from success. Is that him? Cass and Damo sit on their iron thrones of wins.
Okay, this year is very nice, yes, but we've just got some scars.
Yeah, you're very hurt by not remembering what it's like to lose.
You're going to be trauma bonded after you go through the next however many weeks winning every game and then go out
probably
straight.
in the grand final. Yeah,
Chris-
probably.
that's
Chris,
that's going to trauma
objectively
bond you.
horrible thing to say to your friend.
It's what everyone is saying. I have some.
I've told you I
don't trust
still
them,
don't trust
Chris.
them.
It's okay.
Who do you trust, Chris?
Yeah,
Marcus
in Marcus we
Bontempelli.
trust.
Yeah, no, okay, I'm talking about teams. Which
Yeah.
teams do you trust?
Oh, I thought you just
I
meant
don't-
individual
well,
people.
I'm going to be offended first of all because I asked who do you trust, and not one single one of your fellow podcast hosts who have been here to support you this whole season.
You said
were
Marcus
named.
Bontempelli.
You said Marcus Bontempelli, a guy you've never met.
I think he's known him longer than he's known me, to be fair.
Well, we all in our hearts we all know Bont. Really.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Bont's world and we're just living in it.
Which teams do I trust? Oh, that's a good question.
We've only lost one game this year.
Let me think about it. I'll
Nobody
come back to you.
trusts us.
I trust you guys. I'm
I
just
don't.
not allowed to talk about it because every time I bring it up, either you or Damo are in the room and go, don't do that.
I in my footy thread with Eagles and Freo supporters, one of the West Coast supporters messaged and was like, "Whoa, look at your injury list, guys. There's one person on it. How cool is that?" And we're like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, you're
Okay.
right. Your Damo speaks very highly of your injury manager, who has
Isn't he the head of high
That's right.
performance?
He has worked with organizations like the Cleveland Browns, Detroit Lions, Chelsea, British and Irish Lions, the Chicago Cubs in high performance roles. Adam Beard, this is his name.
Mm.
Great name.
Do you know who needs? Maybe he needs to go to Essendon.
Coach Beard.
Yeah,
Nah, I don't send anyone there.
Jess, who do you trust?
Ted Lasso reference. Yes, it was.
I also
I'm
trust him.
married.
There you go.
I think he's got a kind face.
I don't
She
even
obviously
get
she
how
trusts you. Although, Clarky, I must say, since you've got a
We all
moustache
just wanna
now,
live in
Clarky, I
Bond
don't
world.
know whether I can trust you anymore.
It's I
think-
decided that I don't trust technology anymore, so I hide my passwords underneath it.
Who
underneath
can
all
you
the
trust?
hairs. Yeah, can't trust anyone in this world anymore. So I trust my lip. Anyway, speaking of teams that we do trust, Chris, we'll come back to you when you decide who you trust.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah,
through
yeah.
the ladder. I'm
So,
thinking about it.
Flagmantle defeated the Geelong Cats. They won by 9 points after, let's talk about a shaky start,
Mhm.
because I think there was a period where I saw about 12 shots on goal, and you kicked mostly points from that all until a freak goal from, was it Pat Voss? Managed to scrounge one on the line, and then all of a sudden the entire Fremantle team went,
Oh, we can kick goals. Oh, we can.
Right, through the middle.
Because there was a point even when Murphy Reed was lining up for a goal, and the commentators were like, "Oh, well, this will be a goal. This will be a goal," and he missed, and the commentator was like, "Even Murphy missed." Like, yes, even Murphy can miss. I think the difference is this year we came back from that and turned it around and started kicking straight and had a 7-goal third quarter and managed to win. Whereas in the past, I think we would have just spiraled and let that become the whole game and just bottomed out. So
because it was like positive. At least a 5-goal deficit at one point.
Yeah,
when you guys just couldn't claw anything meaningful back.
Just nobody was kicking straight. Jay Amos, Josh Tracy, all the guys that
I think Mason Cox
kick our goals. Yeah. But what do you have to say about this team you don't trust?
One person I really don't trust
Pat Voss.
is Pat Voss. I really dislike him. He's unlikable, is what he is.
I completely agree with you, Chris. I'm so on board with this. Like, I cannot stand him.
Yeah.
I can't put it into words how much I dislike him. He's like on Dane Zorko level for me.
He's on John Noble level for me. I really dislike John Noble with a passion. But yeah, I really dislike Pat Voss. And it's not even like wow, he's so talented, I don't like that guy. Because Josh Tracy, great. No issues with Josh Tracy. But Pat Voss, he just comes across as very arrogant, and I don't like it.
Okay. I'm contractually
said my
obliged
piece.
to like him because he plays for my team. So if he ever changes.
Yeah. He's the anti-Bond.
He's the anti-Bond.
Is what I would say.
Yeah, okay.
I would have thought James Sicily is the anti-Bond.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, okay. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
You've changed my mind.
Never say Chris is an easily manipulated. I understand that why Jess doesn't like Pat Voss, because what do Pat Voss and Dane Zorko have in common?
Both upset Harry Petty.
Yeah, exactly. Harry Petty, AFL's most untouchable man. They changed the whole rule for rubbing his little noggin, and then he shaved his head anyway, so no one can touch him anymore.
No taunting.
No more touching on the bald head. It's not allowed. I think that he will. Well, I'm hoping. He seems to be in that. Remember that period where Jack Ginnivan kind of found his swagger? He was playing good football and then was also kind of still being a bit of a shitbird. And then more recently, he kind of at least appears to be a bit matured in that,
Yeah, but then he did the thing where he fucking upset the kids.
No, but that was during the shitbird period.
Him and Watson didn't rock up to the kids thing.
That was during the shitbird period, Chris.
Borderline.
I'm talking like the last 18 months.
I just think every team has to have a player that if they're on your team, you love them, but everybody else has to hate them. Like I remember when we had Hayden Ballantyne. No, everyone hated Hayden Ballantyne. And
Hayden Ballantyne and Ryan Crowley are the ones that come to mind.
And anyone from your team that you're just going to keep picking on my team.
Oh, from our team, it's Cody Waitman. It's 100% Cody Waitman. When he's actually, to be fair, he's gotten the love of everyone recently because of all the issues he's gone through. But you go back 18 months ago before he got injured, everyone hated, who wasn't a Bulldog supporter, everyone hated Cody Waitman because I think actually now it's probably Michael Selwood or Will Lewis because they're taking on that thing of kind of just getting up in players' faces and being a little bit shit stirrers, which is what Cody Waitman used to do.
Yeah. I wonder who it is from Melbourne. I'm trying to think through the playing list.
You're like, they're all lovable little boys.
They are. At the moment, they're all too young to be.
Well, it used to be.
And we still do.
Yeah.
I think some people might be. I really like aggressive Rick Lever. Lately, Jake Lever's got a bit of an edge to him that I'm kind of like, okay, there's villain potential there. Maybe, I don't particularly care for Bailey Fritsch.
He to me looks too nice. Like
he hasn't done anything.
He looks like a nice person.
You know what? It's the private school energy.
Yeah.
that I think I don't like from him.
Yeah, he has big private school
I know.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing
Looks
we
a bit
need
pompous.
a villain. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what Melbourne's missing, a villain.
Mm.
Yeah, because when you had Petrarca, everyone just picked on him because of his extracurricular
His cooking,
activities.
yeah, what a bastard. Frick. I've never once trusted a chef. Speaking of who do we trust? Name me one. There's one chef that I trusted and then he disappeared for a decade, and that's Huey. Ian Hewitson.
There was
He came back.
he's still on
Chris, but He
Instagram,
left us in
Huey.
our time of need.
You didn't trust Aristos?
there was some interesting
Yeah,
The
wait,
surprise?
yeah. God, that's a deep memory.
there was some interesting points made last week on Twitter. So Tom Morris started reporting that there was some upset at the Gold Coast, that some of the players weren't keen on Damien Hardwick, and then some of the coaching staff weren't keen on some of the players. There were some interesting points made on Twitter that people were saying that the leaks to Tom Morris from Melbourne stopped this season, but coincidentally the leaks at Gold Coast to Tom Morris have started this season. So maybe we've figured out where the leaks are coming from. One
The
Christian
Petrarca
Petrarca.
circle. Jess did say this last week, though.
She said he was the problem,
Yeah. I think this has been.
Yeah.
The common denominator.
I think Jess was the first person I heard say it, so I'm going to give her credit.
Do you trust Jess, though?
Do I
Newsbreaker.
trust more?
Yes.
Yeah, she
I
has
don't
nothing
have
to
a
hide.
mustache, so he has to trust me.
The other night, Thursday night feels so long ago. It was almost a week ago. One of the commentators compared Josh Tracy to Wayne Carey, and I tweeted like, please don't compare
Yeah.
beautiful Josh Tracy to Wayne Carey. And then all of these Wayne Carey supporters came out of the woodwork to comment on my tweet and say, you wish he's nothing like him. And I said,
Yeah, cool.
I don't care how he fucking plays. He's a piece of shit human.
He's nothing like. He's never once classed his partner.
And someone was like, you don't know what he's done in private. Speaking about Josh Tracy. And I was like, pretty sure
That
if
we
you
know
Google
of.
Wayne Carey accusations, the
We've
list
talked
is
a lot-
longer than...
I know that we're driving this trust bit into the ground, but I trust a man with the nickname Big Kahuna.
Mhm.
Like Kahuna feels like cultural appropriation, but also he didn't ask for it.
He's from a place called Kahuna. Did you know that? Did we talk about
No, I
this?
didn't know that. Okay, that makes it
So
less.
if he's not wearing a shirt, he has a postcode on his ribs. And when you look up the postcode, it is the postcode for Kahuna in Victoria.
Turns out I was the insensitive one all along.
I just assumed he was
Isn't that just a return
If lost,
shipping
please
address?
return to.
I just assumed he was a big fat party animal and liked wearing Hawaiian
When we
shirts.
went to the Geelong game, my friend was like, I think Tracy kicked 3 or 4 goals or something. And my friend was like, let's stop by Kahuna on the way home from Geelong. And I looked up where it was. I was like, that's a 4-hour drive from Geelong. Let's just go
Minor
home.
detour, really.
One thing I can guarantee that Josh Tracy doesn't do is he doesn't crush up his anti-inflammatories and leave them in little plastic bags.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would do that? Allegedly.
Allegedly. It's Wayne Carey. He was arrested for it.
I know.
He was kicked out of Crown for it.
I know. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
What's not alleged is that he is a big fucking piece of shit. And I hope that he dies angry and alone.
Well, I don't know who he is. And I've just sneakily Googled him in the background. And one of the top results is, quote, piece of shit, former AFL player takes swipe at Wayne Carey. Like, okay, so you guys are pretty, okay.
Like,
And that's all I need to know.
and you know what? Let's not get into that. Let's talk about Shea Bolton's Mark of the Year nomination, because that was huge. Took a massive hanger. Yeah, I would
crazy mark.
imagine that sent gas to space seeing that.
Yeah, I think I was looking down at the time and I missed it, so we had to wait for the replay. But it was very good.
Oh, how long
No,
did the
'cause they had to
replay
wait for a
take as
stop in the
well?
play. They're like, come on, we want to see the replay.
Yeah. I was on the couch and I saw it live and I was like, whoa. And my wife was like, what happened? I was like, wait for the replay. And then like 5 minutes later, she's like, I'm not watching anymore and looked away. And I was like,
showing
fuck.
him the footage of it after the game. And he was like, oh, I didn't know I got that high.
Hell yeah. I like that he goes from, he is like the stealth Guernsey of players, because I feel like I see him do absolutely nothing. And then all of a sudden he'll just take them like the biggest mark possible, or he'll kick a running goal from the center square, like just out of nowhere. And I'm like, yeah, I'm really glad when I see him succeed, because I feel like he copped a lot of criticism for leaving Richmond at the time that he did. So I kind of do want to see him succeed. Nice for him to get this as well.
He's ended up being the perfect pickup by Freo. Like, he was exactly what you guys needed at the exact right time as well. Like, it was incredibly good list management.
There's also been a lot of talk this week about Murphy Reid we picked him up at number 17 in the draft, and a lot of people are talking about how did he slip that low, and do we think he should have been higher? And
well, there was the Ross Lyon stuff that came out today that Ross Lyon didn't want him because people basically said that one of Ross Lyon's kids went to the same school as him in the same year or something and didn't like him. Ross apparently told the recruiters that he wasn't keen on him because of how he behaved when he was 16.
Right. Is that the actual story?
Yeah.
Pretty much like some fucking bullshit. Is one of my pet peeves is, and we seem to be doing this a lot recently, is going, I think somebody did the same thing about North Melbourne picking Zane Dersma over Nick Watson. And they're like, how could they miss this?
Yeah.
Watson's this prolific player and Zane Dersma hasn't, is still developing. And I hate it. Like, it makes me so angry, because Murphy Reid's, Zane Dersma's, Nick Watson's, like all these players, like they all will be something and they have the opportunity to become something, but they would not be what they are now and what we measure them against if they had ended up in a different system. Murphy Reid is a fantastic player. If he ended up at St Kilda, he would have not had a career, because he would have been in abject poverty and in the VFL forever. So if anything, Ross Lyon passing on Murphy Reid did him the greatest kindness that someone can do to another, which is giving them a good career.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back and look at Zane Dersma in his draft year, he was very fucking good. I followed him a fair bit, and he was the player I was hoping would slide to the Bulldogs, and we ended up getting Riley Sanders instead. But I really wanted us to get Zane Dersma because he was fucking great. It's just, unfortunately, it hasn't worked out for him at North. I found the Ross Lyon stuff. So it was reported by Tom Morris that Ross formed the view that he didn't want Murphy Reid to be drafted by St Kilda, and he let his recruiters know that. And then someone asked Tom Morris on Twitter, is this supposed to imply he's some sort of bad boy? And Tom Morris said, not in the slightest, zero knock on Murphy Reid, simply reporting that Ross didn't want him given his prior connection to him as a parent of a kid in the same year level. And apparently went back to when he was 16. So yeah.
Speaking of Ross being a loser, is that what we're speaking about? Kind of. He lost again to the Bulldogs this week, Chris. You must be pretty happy about that.
Sorry, I was having a coughing fit.
Yeah, very good.
Yes, I was happy about that. It got a little bit nervy late in the game. It looked like they were potentially going to come back. Unfortunately, I think for them, fortunately, I think their injuries just kind of made it so they ran out of steam. They were down 3 rotations on the bench by the end. And I think that just helped us. We kind of just started to pull away in that last quarter, which was nice. It was another Bont masterclass. That's why I trust him. 34 disposals, 1 goal. I don't know if everyone's seen the vision of that goal. I think it was in the second quarter, where there's just kind of the ball just gets kicked into the forward 50 and he runs out and one-handed scoops it up, turns onto his left and just puts it through. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's incredible. It's even funnier if you watch the Triple M coverage of it, because it sounded like Daisy Thomas was just, it sounded like he was watching something that was more...
Just say it, Chris. It sounded like he was going to come.
Yeah, it sounded like he was going to come.
Just let's not beat around the bush.
But yeah, outside of that, Bailey Dale, big game. One thing that I really liked after the game, Luke Beveridge's press conference, he said, so he was basically asked about Naz having 44 touches because Naz just had a shitload of the ball. And
he was the only one left.
there was that. But he gave a really cool response that you kind of don't really hear from from coaches very often, where it was quite analytical, where he said that he had 44 touches, he had something like 900 meters gained. It was ridiculous, but he only had a handful of score involvements from those 44 touches. And Bevo basically just said that they were happy for him to have 60 plus touches if he needed to. We were just going to stick to our system because he wasn't damaging the game, pretty much.
Ooh.
Which was interesting because it goes back to what I've said a couple of times over the last few weeks, that we put this overemphasis on the amount of disposals that a player gets and how many touches they have, but not actually the impact they have on the game. So it was interesting to hear Bevo say they didn't care if he had 60 plus because it didn't really affect how we played and we stuck to our system and it worked out.
Yeah, it's interesting it's great to see Nas sort of back. I mean, Sinclair went down with a calf injury almost immediately. They
4 minutes in.
Yeah, TDK was practically killed on the field, which is like the third time this year that we've seen someone almost die on a football pitch.
Well, I'm surprised that more people aren't talking about this. Punctured lung, 2 or 3 fractured or broken ribs, and he got sent back out. He got sent back on the field. Have we not learned from the Petrarca incident? Like, there was such a massive deal made of the Petrarca thing, but no one has spoken about this. And he went back out, he played out the rest of the half, and then they only sent him to hospital at halftime and removed him from the game.
Halftime? Was it really halftime?
Yeah, he came off the field at halftime and then didn't come back on for the third quarter.
I know Jess was seething when she heard about this.
I was thinking in the lead up to the game, like, I feel like everybody spoke about him a lot last year. And then he's moved to St Kilda and it feels like he's just become a bit irrelevant. Like, he got all this money and honestly, good for him. He's sold himself at the top of his game. And now he's just kind of doing whatever and being paid really well for it. And then he got injured. And as soon as you said that, I thought of Petrarca and was like, how are we letting this happen again? But it just feels like there may be, like, all the time they go, nobody can decide how they want to categorize things. Like, oh, are we like doing things on the outcome, or like, are we learning from our mistakes? It feels like everything just repeats itself in a cycle.
Well, the St Kilda medicos basically said that in their initial assessment of him when he came off the ground, they didn't detect any signs of any sort of internal damage. So that's why they were happy to send him back out. Yeah. They were happy to send him back out, and then got to halftime and they decided they'd send him to the hospital to get scans to check. And yeah, punctured lung and a couple of fractured or broken ribs.
And that's the other thing, these players, a lot of them, like, I didn't see the incident or see it happen. A lot of them go, no, I'm fine, get me back out there, and you're like, no, you've just fell on your head and you almost broke your neck. You have to sit down for a minute. And so a lot of the time the trainers will just be like, yeah, all right, get back out there. But it's like, no, go check them over.
Well, isn't it better to be overcautious and go, hang on a second, I'm not a bloody X-ray or an ultrasound. Maybe let's just err on the side of caution. And if we look like fools afterwards, then thank God you're fine. And so what if you didn't play the rest of the game? Versus, oh my God, you had massive internal injuries and now we're going to get sued. Or you've ended up like, handicapped or whatever for the rest of your life. Whatever however you want to classify it. Like, I just think it's too serious to be messing around with.
I'm watching the incident back again. So it was Buku Kamas sort of, it almost looks like a glancing blow to the ribs, but I guess obviously it slid off them because it broke them. In hindsight, knowing what we know now. And DeConnie kind of runs up. Do you think that this also, kind of to what Jess is saying, like, why are we not erring on the side of caution where they've probably assessed it? Because they go back and they look at the vision, and they do this with HIAs all the time. They go back and they look at the vision and they go, oh, well, okay, cool. They've been hit here. This is the points of impact and that kind of thing. And not one of them goes, probably massive risk of internal injuries, but they assess it based on he walked off and he was fine and he seems okay. Like, I don't know.
Well, one of the things that was brought in, I can't remember if it was following on from the Petrarca thing or if it was just in response to the head injuries, but they brought in, there's now the bipartisan doctor who can stop the game and force a player off the field.
Oh, cool. He's fired as well then.
Yeah.
He was busy he was at one of the other games.
Yeah. I don't know if it's specifically in response to head injuries.
To go to all
He's very busy.
He's a very busy doctor.
He was flying back from Adelaide at the time.
Yeah.
One other thing that I have really enjoyed the last few weeks and was again in this game, Cooper Hines is showing a bit. He got the Rising Star nom last week. And he's the player that we got in the Bailey Smith trade. So the first round pick we got from Geelong for Bailey Smith. It was pick 16. We got Cooper Hines. Hasn't shown a whole lot early in his career, but his last few weeks have been really good. So it's nice to actually get something from that.
I can't believe that you've gone this whole time, Chris, without pointing out Lib is alive.
He was alive.
Libber is alive.
They were taking him to the farm and he jumped out of the car and ran back to the team.
He saw Jess with the gun and was like, no,
I still got more in me.
I'm still good, coach. Put me back in.
23 touches as well. Yeah,
I thought he was moving all right. He looked really good.
Well, from what I heard about 3 or so weeks ago that he was over the concussion symptoms, but while he was in the concussion protocol, they sent him in for a knee arthroscope. So he had his knee cleaned out and he was just trying to get over that.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it as well on this very show, Chris, that the worst of the concussion, because Cass and I have been asking you about Libber for weeks now for fantasy reasons.
Yeah.
And I didn't drop him. He's been sitting on my bench, waiting.
Yeah, helped me a lot in the keeper league this week as well. Yeah, Saints are cooked. Get fucked. Bulldogs on the rise. Good for you guys. What's not good for us guys is Jess and I experienced a loss against the Crows.
What's that like? What's losing like, you guys?
You don't want to know.
Wow.
Abject horror. You see that high that you're feeling now? There's an opposite. It's
is it good? Is it low?
Yeah, it's a big sad.
Oh,
is what they
big
call
sad.
it officially, I think. I watched a lot of this game and I listened to the second half on the radio. This was a terrible game by both teams, if you were to believe any of the calling without the visual, because it was just very intense, high possession, and sloppy, particularly from Melbourne. It was really close until the fourth quarter where Adelaide managed to capitalise on 2 really horrible mistakes by Cozzy Pickett, gave away a 50-metre penalty for not standing, which I went back and looked at the vision, absolutely fucked. Sorry for this language, kids. We're obviously a safer schools podcast usually, but there were 3 Melbourne players in the vicinity of an Adelaide mark. The umpire he just yells literally, stand there, and all of the 3 Melbourne players, probably there was, I think, almost you could say 4th Melbourne player there, they just all kept moving because they were like, oh, he's not talking to me. Because the umpire didn't specify who he wanted to stand, and then he gave away a 50 instead of, being specific in a group of, 4 players from the same team that one of them had to stand the mark. There was another 50 given away by Cade Chandler, and both of those led to scores for Adelaide, which gave them they were ahead by, I think, it was just under 2 goals at that point, and then they kicked another one to finish the 17. And as much as I want to complain about, there was some umpiring decisions I didn't agree with, like a deliberate Cade Chandler slipped over and fell out of bounds, and the umpire said insufficient intent, so lassoed it back to Adelaide, which led to a score, I believe, in that next ongoing play from that. But when you're not getting the basics right, you can't really worry too much about the umpire decisions or giving away those 50s and not being able to execute when you need to. It was nice to see Jefferson back in. I really enjoy Matthew Jefferson, Luca Kentfield, and Jacob Van Rooyen as our 3 forwards. Obviously, Majacek is now home and recovering, and I wish him all the best. And I hope that he's back playing football at some point, probably next year. Take as much time as you need, but even if he's not, I've really enjoyed having him, and I hope that he can still be around the club to give some of his experience to our forwards. But it's nice to have 3 good talls and just baffling. Even in a loss, I just sit here and I go, wow, Simon Goodwin really fucked it. We've had Luca Kentfield and Matthew Jefferson for ages and they just haven't been able to play. Jacob Van Rooyen is a good forward who needs support, and he needs other people to take attention away from him to do good things or to give him opportunity to go and do good things. And he had a lot of really great moments this week as well, especially with Harry Petty not playing. Like, this is probably my preferred forward line going forward, just to give them a bit of time to see if it's any good. And hopefully that something can come from that. So, look, bad loss, felt bad, but we were in it for most of the day and lost it off our own boot, really, because Adelaide are just fantastic in the moment. So you can't play against a team that good and be that's inefficient. Sorry, Jess, I kind of just gave my thoughts. Any word from you on this one?
No, I agree. I was impressed that we were so close up until the last quarter, but I didn't watch the last quarter because it makes me too stressed. So I didn't see it, and Josh was like feeding me updates. And then, yeah, it was disappointing, I think, to let it go at the end and the questionable umpiring. But you can't blame everything on that. Like you said, it's unfortunate, and I do think that it impacts morale if you're constantly seeing things called against you that feel unfair. But I think part of being a good team is being able to push past that and still like rise above it and overcome, what's coming at you. So it is disappointing. I really had a little bit of hope that we would kind of triumph over them like we did with Hawthorn and Brisbane and stuff. But, it is, you have to lose some games. I don't know, Cass, like maybe
Do you though?
Normal people have to lose some games.
Yeah, looking at the score, it looks like it was mostly within a goal for 90% of this game. Like, Melbourne was in control of some of it, and Adelaide was in control for some of it. And then between the third and fourth quarter, it kind of just went back and forth really, really quickly until the last maybe 10 minutes of the match. And I think that's all you can hope for with a developing side. Like, I think we could have won this, and I'm disappointed that we didn't. But, I trust it. Every game this year, even the losses, has given me such faith in the Stephen King system.
Is that someone you trust?
Yeah, I do. I'm building trust in this system because he's shown that he's willing to give opportunity to the guys that deserve it. Like Joel Fitzgerald, our mid-season draftee, came to the VFL, played 2 games, and is averaging 2 or 3 games and averaged 34 disposals. And he's like, we actually need a mid this week, so you're up, big fella. Like, you're doing great work. And he's been really good for those. Luca Kentfield has been kicking 3 a week in the VFL for a number of weeks in number of seasons gone by, and we needed a forward, and here he is having a go. Like, that's what we want. And I think it was always a tough ask. Adelaide are just brilliant. Like, they've got some of the best players in the league. Personally, there's so many Adelaide players. I'm just like, absolutely, I adore them. Like, I would love to have a Josh Rochelle any day of the week. Like a
But
Riley
not Tex.
Tilthorpe.
And
Let's
Jordan
just
Dawson.
be very clear. Absolutely not Tex.
Oh no,
No.
he can stay.
Yeah. He can take Libby's place on the truck to the farm.
The
But
crazy
his
thing
son
with Adelaide,
can go to Collingwood.
Yeah. Nick Dacos assumes ownership of Tex Walker's son.
the crazy thing with Adelaide is, and I think this has been what's changed their form. Their pressure is insane, and that was what killed us. Was they just squeezed the absolute life out of us, and it was the same thing we saw in that game against North, where that second quarter they just demolished them. It was just the pressure. North couldn't get the ball away. I think what was really promising for Melbourne in this game, particularly for the first 3 quarters, was you kind of matched that pressure, and that was what kept you in it. You didn't really allow Adelaide to just have their way and play their game. And I think that I hope that's what other teams take away from this, is that kind of the key to Adelaide is just finding a way to kind of nullify that pressure. The other thing I was going to say about Melbourne is one player who's really underrated for you guys is Cade Chandler. He's having a really good season, but no one ever talks about him.
I would talk about him until the cows come home, but nobody knows who he is when I bring him up. So he's okay. Couple things. One, my favorite thing about Cade Chandler at the moment is that he had his baby. He's got a newborn. He's probably a couple months old now. Has a tiny number 37 jumper, like a knitted cardigan that he wears to all the games. And Cade brings him into the circle, and he's got little earmuffs on it, and it's really adorable. Like, seems like a sweet dad, but he is. This might be a bit too inside baseball for the Falcon, but The short version is it was either him or Charlie Spargo at one point for this type of role. Spargo would play it okay sometimes and Chandler would play it okay the other times. And Chandler won out because Spargo got injured. And he has just been so relentlessly consistent in his intensity, Chris. Like, it makes me so happy to hear you like acknowledge him. Like, I love that about him.
Man, he's a man I would trust.
You know what? I trust a man who's got a cute baby in a tiny little matching jumper. Let's go to Coach Watch because I think Dim is in trouble, guys. Put him in the Coach Watch basket. Get him prepared for the truck.
I think that's a different truck.
You overlay a sound of me cocking my gun.
Oh gosh.
I was just going to take him to the farm where they all live out their retirement happily and quietly.
Yeah. The gun's just for persuasion.
I was really disappointed with the Suns in this one. Like, I didn't feel any fight from them at all, really. That's a lot of what I have to say about this. Like, it was just so, like, underwhelming, and we wanted them to be good, and Jess said it to me. She's like, she just said it out loud, so it wasn't even to me. You know when you just, like, you have a thought and you just sort of say it to the universe to see if anyone, as Jess was there, was like, I think I really expected the Suns to do a lot better than they're capable of.
I think they really like got us excited last year and we were kind of like, all right, here we go. And then they've this year just been like, hang on, not yet.
Well, it's like the regression is a hard one to deal with. You got to be consistently bad, like a North or Richmond situation. Where it's put him on Coach Watch. I think Dim has lost the club.
I think that they've ended up in a bit of a weird position where, and we all got sucked in by looking at the amount of academy kids that they were getting, the amount of academy high draft picks they were getting. They brought in Petrarca, but I think that all of those academy picks have left them in this position where majority of them were midfielders and no one was pushing Anderson, Rowell, Took, and then Petrarca out of that midfield. So you've ended up with a bunch of players playing out of position or playing where they're not necessarily the best. So like Jake Rogers, when he's been in the team, has shown little bits, but hasn't been great because he's playing as a small forward. Leo Lombard has had a pretty good season, but again, he's a midfielder who's playing as a small forward. You've now got Jai Murray's come into the team. He's had a few good games. Bo Adensol debuted on the weekend, but they've just got way too many young midfielders, and I think it's hurting the rest of their team.
Unless they're playing to sell them off, Chris.
Well, that would be what you'd think, but you're then selling them at a discount because if you take Jake Rogers as an example, no one's going to pay a first round pick for him now, and he was a top 10 pick when he was taken. So it's I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts. It looks like they're potentially going to lose Jed Walter, who's being courted by Essendon, and now Ben King's no guarantee to stay. So yeah, they're in a bit of a weird spot. Bailey Humphrey's most likely going to Melbourne.
It's funny because when you look at the ladder, they're sitting in 9th, but it's funny that we're having these discussions because they're on 28 points. They're only one game clear of Carlton, who are in 14th. So like the difference between 9th and 14th is only 4 points. So all it's going to take is one loss there and one win somewhere else, and they could be right out of it.
Yeah.
The thing as well is it doesn't get any easier for Gold Coast. They have Freo in Perth this week.
Oh yeah, okay.
Freo, are they doing okay? What are they? Are they winning some games? Or
look, you look, Cass. You can either be smug or you can let us talk about Flagmantle.
No, don't talk about Flagmantle. Don't do that.
I looked at the fixture, and you might not lose again.
You may never lose again. All the way straight to the grand final. I hear, Cass.
I'm not saying that ever.
I hear Kylie Minogue actually is going to get up on there with a roof rocker preemptively. Who was it? Cass, did you say Marvel's getting a roof rocker?
Well, Marvel is they're doing.
Is it the Adelaide Oval that does it? They clip you to the stadium. Yes,
you can do like a stadium tour. And actually, I was going to do some. Oh no, nope. I'm not going to say this word out loud, but I was going to do some homework and see.
Homework?
No, don't do it.
Cass, did you do your homework?
No, don't do it. I was going to see what all the stadiums, like what experiences all the stadiums offer already, because I know at Optus you can go up where the roof rocker goes as part of this, like a stadium tour. So I was wondering, I wonder what the other stadiums have. I'm sure you said Adelaide Oval have something.
Adelaide Oval let you go and sit up on the roof, I'm pretty sure. Because I remember seeing, didn't they do it during Gather Round?
Should we do some homework? Should we figure it find out for next week?
Should
no
Cass
we
do
at
our
the-
homework?
Should we find out
All
what
of
they
a
all
sudden,
do?
this is a fucking group project.
How-
And guess who's not going to pull their weight?
Who wouldn't want to go on Mars? I feel like going up on Marvel Stadium kind of cool.
But I feel like it's Docklands. You could just, I don't know, go on one of the apartment buildings right next to it and get the same view.
But then you got to break into someone's apartment.
Yeah,
and it's a whole
that's
thing.
true. Okay, I wasn't saying to break in
There's a
something.
breaking and entering thing.
Yeah.
Or you got to get like a big boat. go through the dock of the Docklands. Anyway, Dimmer's on Coach Watch. Orcs, you're doing fine, probably. You seem okay now. I've got a couple more talking points before we jump to the fifth quarter, which is one, I don't care about the North Melbourne and Richmond game. This is bottom feeder behaviour.
And that first quarter.
Yeah. But I saw a clip that made me so incensed with rage, and it was a clip of Luke McDonald gets a ball from a contest in the North Melbourne backline. He stands on the behind line with the ball, notices that no Richmond player is close enough that he can rush the behind. So he stands on the goal line with the ball and just waits. And the Richmond players don't move towards him and he just waits.
And that kind of summed up the game between these players for me. It's like, where's the pressure?
Well, and so the Richmond player finally moves forward and like pushes him over the line, and it's called a rush behind. I think that's the worst thing that I've ever seen in my life. We've talked like there's been a lot of talk this week about umpires like umpiring better for the moment and not like to the letter of the law. So there was an incident in the Bulldog Saints game where Max Hall kicked a goal, but it turned out he'd run like almost double the distance without bouncing the ball. So he'd ran almost like 30 meters without bouncing the ball, kicked a goal, everyone celebrated the goal, and the umpire went, well, no, you've gone too far. I think that's perfectly fine. And everyone said, oh, we should let that go because then there would have been 8 points and exciting football. Like, no, he had no pressure and broke the rules. That's different. But letting Luke McDonald rush the behind when he just stood there with the ball, clearly had no intention of moving it forward. How is that not intentional? Like, how is that like you had no intent of keeping that in?
Yeah, it's like there's what do they say? Yeah, you don't have. It's the opposite of having no intent. Yeah, insufficient intent to kick it out, but you're keeping it in
because he could have kicked it. He had more than enough time
kick it to somebody,
to dispose of the
handball
ball.
it to somebody.
So if he got tackled, it would have been holding the ball, but he got a rush behind instead. When I think the appropriate call in that situation is like I think contextual umpiring needs to make a comeback instead of umpiring for the moment.
If that frustrates you, I would assume none of you would remember this, but just in case, does anyone remember the 2008 incident with Joel Bowden, who played for Richmond?
No.
So he is the reason they have the deliberate rush behind rule. If you get a chance, go look at the last few minutes of the Richmond Essendon game from 2008. So Joel Bowden, Richmond had a 6-point lead with less than a minute to go. Joel Bowden took the kick in, and instead of taking the kick in, he walked, like he played on, but then just stood there and then walked over the line and rushed the behind to waste time, then went to take the kick in and did it again. He just played on, stood there with the ball, and then when players started to walk towards him, he just walked back over the line and rushed it again. That was the incident.
I remember this, yeah.
Yeah, it was a massive controversy, and it was the incident that then caused the AFL to the next season announce they were bringing in a deliberate rush behind rule. That was what this reminded me of, because Luke McDonald just stood there and kind of just was spinning the ball in his hand.
Right, like I understand that this is a nothing game and nobody gives a shit, but somebody has to give a shit, and if it's going to be somebody, I hope it's the fucking umpires. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, am I crazy? Jess,
There wasn't.
I just I feel like the only way you're going to get people to actually do anything about this is to harshly punish them. Like, you're going to do that? Okay,
week
there's a
on the
50 the
farm.
other way.
A week on Jess's
You
farm.
go to the farm.
Get in the
your
truck.
boots.
Get in the
We're
truck.
going. Like, because is it just showing up that there was no kind of football sense going on? Like, why did not one person be like, oh, fuck, he's not marked it. Like, I can just take him down. Like, what are we doing? What, like, is that not your kind of your football brain switching on going, this is, like, I'm in playing mode now?
Like, that's their goal. Richmond, that's your goals. Just do something, get the
it's
ball.
It's a holding the ball call. Take him down and you'll get literally in front of the sticks. Like, what are you doing? Do you not give a shit as much as the rest of us don't? Because why are we all here then?
In the same vein, Clarky, with you saying like contextual umpiring, the similar thing that really frustrates me is when players are allowed to just step over the line and it's out of bounds and it goes for a throw in. That's not counted as deliberate. It was actually, I think Buka Cummins did it on the weekend, and obviously I didn't care because it was a Bulldogs player. But the St Kilda fans were not happy, and yeah, he got tackled, and then he kind of dodged a player, and then just like stepped over the line, and the St Kilda fans were like, "That's deliberate," and the umpire was like, "No, throw it in." Like, it's the exact same thing.
It's the game's too hard to umpire, and I get that, but now it's so far into the realms of like interpretation of intent is like an insane thing to request of an umpire.
You're not in their brain. You don't know what his intent actually was.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of a man with intent, so Carlton go for their 5th straight win since sacking Michael Voss, who I think should demand a royal commission into what the fuck was happening when he was there. I think that's the only way we're going to get to the bottom of why Carlton are like this. Because they look like finals contenders now.
I do like that Josh Fraser's still just like, yeah, no, I don't want it. I'm good.
Absolutely, yeah.
He still doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Too much pressure.
Just bring in a boss for me.
He's like a dad with like a rescue dog, though. I feel like, is he just going like, no way, we're not getting that. Absolutely not. Next minute, he's curled up on the floor, giving it, like,
the dog's
sleeping in bed with it and all that. Ooh.
The dog's eating a pie on the couch next to him.
Yeah. Like,
he's hungry.
You don't want this. I didn't.
Yeah, he's hungry. He wants a steak.
He won't fall asleep without my finger in his mouth. I can't help it.
Yeah, what do you mean? I can't go anywhere. Sorry. Anyway, sorry, speaking of intent, Matt Cottrell turned up to the Carlton huddle with a harmonica. He played the opening bars to Piano Man. I will say, like, don't get me wrong, I don't have any musical talent, but if you're going to bust out the harmonica, I expect you to be good. And he did not necessarily nail the Billy Joel.
Yeah, I was listening to it because that go, you know, the bit goes da 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 da, but he just kind of kept going da 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 da. It's like, just move down the harmonica a little bit more, just go a little bit lower. Anyway,
this is Brian Gass's wheelhouse, the musical instrument critique. And then followed it up with, he just played a random note of
to go da 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 da.
Which, like, once again, you've got an instrument that has all the notes, brother. It's got all the notes. You can pick the one, surely.
I like the thought that, like, this is something that Josh Fraser has brought in, that he's like, every week we win, someone has to show off a talent before we sing the song. Matt Cottrell, your turn this week. And Matt Cottrell's like, finally, my harmonica, it's time to shine.
You've all seen the Demons doing the casual fit before the game. We've got to do something better than that. Who's got something good? I got my harmonica in my bag. That'll do. What did you play?
Piano Man.
I like the idea as well. That they've gone up to the huddle.
The intro.
I like that he's obviously clearly before that he's got, I've got to get my harmonica, guys. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, where did he have it? Where was it? In his pants the whole
I
time.
hope it was tucked into his sock for the whole game. Like, you know, they tuck their mouth guards into their sock where they kick a goal, but he just whips out the harmonica.
Is that a harmonica in your sock, or are you just happy to see me?
Can you imagine him like kicking and then it goes flying?
whistling.
dear.
Still a better rendition of Piano Man flying through the air.
All jokes aside, I love the energy. Like, I appreciate, I love seeing football players having fun, and this is great, but it caught me so off guard when I saw the headline, because I was like, surely in the year of our Lord 2026, sorry, and by our Lord you mean, I mean the Bond. In the year of our Bond 2026, everything feels like it's fucking AI, and it really upsets me that I have to, for a second question, like, is that really Matt Cottrell? And then I have to look up who Matt Cottrell is, and I have to figure it out, and I'm like, no, it's actually him. And I love that for him.
Good vibes. Well done, Carlton.
Yeah. I hope that
when fun?
No, I don't trust them.
No.
Are they fun?
No.
No.
Fun and trust are not different?
Still no.
Okay.
No.
I hope aren't fun and you don't trust them.
I hope that when Bont inevitably runs for Senate,
Prime Minister.
Australia, yeah, Prime Minister, whatever he goes for, I hope that his slogan is Marcus Bontempelli, a man you can trust.
Very good. That's a platform you can say you want to.
What?
Anyway, Chris, you pointed out that the irony of Carlton winning is that they may affect their draft hand.
Yes. Well, it's been reported today. So obviously with the draft changes this year, so stepping back, Carlton is firmly hoping to match any bids on Cody Walker, who is Andrew Walker's son, Carlton legend. They've been waiting for this for the better part of the last 18 months because he's been that good. He's expected to go at worst top 2. There's a bit of a consensus that everyone thinks he's probably the number 1 pick in the draft, but worst case, he'll probably get a bid on top in second pick. In order for Carlton to match that, they can now, under the new draft rules, they can only use a maximum of 2 picks to match that bid on Cody Walker. With their current ladder position, which is 14th, they would get pick 5 in the draft, and they also have pick 17 from Sydney, which would give them just enough points to match a bid on Cody Walker at pick 2. However, if they were to continue winning a few games and move up to 10th, which Cass pointed out earlier that the difference between Gold Coast in 9th and Carlton in 14th is only 1 game at the moment. If they were to finish 10th, that would give them pick 9 in the draft, and they have Sydney's pick 17, which would not give them enough points to match a bid on Cody Walker. That would be 247 points short. So,
well, if it is
victims of their own success.
Yeah. Suffering from success, just like Cass.
What's that like? I'm just stuck on the fact that Andrew Walker has a son old enough to be in the draft, because I was like,
yeah.
I feel like I know who Andrew Walker is, and I looked and he's only 40. How does he have a child old enough to be in the draft?
Cass.
It's because I am almost 40 and I have a 1-year-old. So I'm very confused by this maths.
Well, what's not confusing is that we've come to the end of the games for this week that we want to talk about, and Cass has prepared a 5th quarter.
I did. I prepared a little game for us all to play. It doesn't have to be very long, and it's something we can all do together. It's another group project.
Jess hates those.
It's very similar to the name game that we've played in the past, but this time we'll be working together. What we're going to do, somebody's going to name a player. It can be past or present, so it doesn't have to be a current player. There can be famous players off the top of your head. So we just need the name of a player. Clarky, can I have the name of a player, please?
Keziah Pickett.
Right. So Keziah Pickett, his surname starts with P. So then the next player we're going to mention, their first name has to start with P. Chris? Peter Dacos. Okay, Peter Bell. Great, Peter Bell.
Yeah,
great.
Peter is kind of a softball on that one, guys.
Yeah. Good. But you can see it was a past player, but we can still use him. His surname ends in B. So the next player we mentioned, their first name has to start with B. Jess?
Bailey Smith.
Bailey Smith. Great. Does everyone get how it works? We're just going to make a train of players to see how many players we can put in our train. And then we'll do 2 rounds and see if we can beat our number. How does that work?
Very good.
Good. Does that sound all right? Good?
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to start? In the order we just did them, maybe?
In the order we just did. That's fine.
So it went Clarky, Chris, Jess, and then me, and then back to Clarky. So we'll just keep going and going. So full names, first and last name. The next player has to start with the letter that the last player finished with.
I can hear Kaz like...
We know how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. Clarky, pick a player. Off you go.
Max Gorn.
Chris,
Graham Johncock.
Jess. Wait, it's John Cox. Starts with a J, right? It's
Yeah.
John Cox is
Yeah.
one word.
Yeah, right.
J.
Okay. Jordan Dawson.
Right. D. David Mundy.
Marcus Bontempelli.
Brandon Zirk Thatcher.
Ooh.
Z. Oh.
T.
Oh.
Well,
What?
it's
T,
hyphenated.
not Z.
Well, Zirk Thatcher, it's hyphenated. Is it a Z or is
We'll
it a
go
T?
with the first part of the surname. Z.
So Z.
Okay, so Z. Zeke Euland.
Ooh.
Wait, what was that? A U?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
Jess plays to win, guys.
Are there
I ain't
any
never
that
met a
start
group
with-
project that I ain't won, says Jess.
Okay, so I think round one is stopping on 7 players.
Is there one?
All I can think of is Ugelhagen, but that's a surname.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is Urquhart, but it's a surname.
All right. Start us off again, Clarky. Let's go.
Andrew Cracker.
Kane Lambert.
Leo Lombard.
Oh, oh no. Lewis Jetta?
Le Grill.
Is Lewis Jetta a player?
Yep.
Jake Waterman.
Will Darcy.
Nice.
Who begins with a D?
Da 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 da.
Matt Cottrell's back.
Daniel
Got it.
Rioli.
Rioli.
Is he one of the Riolis?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to say like Robert. Reese Palmer.
Palmer.
Clarky, are you looking at your list?
I am looking at my list.
That's cheating.
Is it cheating? I'm really bad at names.
It's 100% cheating.
It is cheating. We're working together, guys. We all win.
We've already beat our first one.
Yeah.
We're on 8 now, but that's all right. P.
No, Filippo is the last name. Yeah, I'm gonna have to break it on this one.
We did a couple
Come on,
before. A couple
mentioned
of
before.
Peters. A couple of Peters.
Huh?
Yeah.
Peter, anyone?
I was too busy looking at my list.
Foiled.
Yeah, foiled
His,
again.
his son has peaked.
His son is peaked. Damn the bells. Do one more.
All right, do it again. You can start us off. The
If
number
you
to beat
start
is
off with a
8.
Peter, I'm going to be so annoyed.
Peter
Murphy
Dacos.
Reed.
Ryan Crowley.
Oh, yeah, we talked about
He
him
mentioned
earlier.
twice in this episode.
Big day for Ryan.
Is Crowley with a C?
It
or
is with
K?
a C, yes.
Yeah.
With a
it's a
C. Charlie Kerno.
Also a C. Charlie Cameron.
Also with
Another
the C.
alliteration. Come on, Clarky, don't break the alliterations.
No, Charlie Spargo.
Sam Darcy.
You're killing me here.
Don't
do
get
it again.
Can I get it twice?
Don't do it again.
There's never not a threat.
Daniel. Who else is there? Dan Annable? Is he a player?
Yeah, he is a player. Dan Hannibal.
Was that an
I remember
A?
you mentioning him.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, A. Yeah.
Adam Chera. That's with a C.
Thank you for that one. Cyril Rioli.
Back to fucking R again.
Very common. Do you want my list?
Reese Matheson.
Oh, the barometer.
Yeah, the barometer.
Mabby or Chol.
Ooh.
Back to
See
C.
again.
C again. C is for Cassie. Cam Rayner.
Ryan Angwin.
Andrew Brayshaw.
Brody Myercheck.
Michael Frederick.
What a Freo players.
A lot of free play.
Funny that.
F. Nope. Florent. Fiorini.
Where's all the Franks?
Yeah.
They went away in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. I don't know any players.
You could just say like
back.
Frank Liberatore. I'm sure there was one of them somewhere.
Yeah. Franklin the buddy.
Well, we got
player.
to 5, 10, 15, 16 for that one. So that's
Nice.
good.
Well
That's
done.
a nice one to end it. Well
We're
done,
getting
everybody.
better every time.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
that's
can play,
good.
and you can play that at home, listeners. Or not. I don't know. You do it. I'm not your boss.
Whatever your intent is.
No, thank you for that, Cass.
Anyways.
Hey, and thank you for listening, people. We, the Falcon, and you can find us on socials at Falcon Footy Pod. You can also find us individually. Chris, where can people find you?
Lowry_16.
Cass?
You can follow me at CassVag. And if you're on Threads, don't read my threads. They're just all about reality TV shows.
Yes, the Southern Bales. The Bales of the South. And Jess?
That's Funky Jess with 2 Ys.
And you can find me at QuantumJC, or more than likely, you can find me over with our good friend of the show, Damo, on the Footy Mailbag, where, oh God, I pray for the Supercoach season to end so I am free from this hell that has been this year. In the meantime, make sure you give us a rating and review on your podcast platform of choice, but most importantly, make sure you tell your friends, because we fun and dangerous all year round, particularly on the dangerous bit.
Someone called us wholesome this week.
Yeah, shout out.
Thank you to Emlyn Briggs. We made it on her list.
Yeah, it's a really interesting cross-section of football media, and to see us on a list was both confronting and joyous.
Yeah, you kind of
And then
go,
it made its way.
okay.
It made its way to Reddit as well.
It did make its way to Reddit. We were on Reddit very briefly. Maybe we should go and take credit for being on there. I did scroll through the comments just to see if there was one person who was like, the fuck is the Falcon?
I was looking for that comment as well.
So, hey, shout out if you hear from Reddit. Was this a good one for you to start on? I don't know. If not, you find your way to the farm, brother. Anyway, make sure you jump in the comments on Spotify as well and chat with Cass's mum, who is our #1 fan.
Yep.
Until next week, we love you. We can't wait for the buys to be over, even though we're saying bye for now. It's not forever.
Thank goodness.
Oh yeah, I have to stop.
The entire team at the Falcon Footy Pod would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians and cultures of the lands and seas on which we live and record this podcast. We pay our respects to all First Nations peoples, elders, and ancestors, and thank them for their continued connection and contribution to this country's national game.